Welcome back to Pete's Workshop. Well, we've got a Audi A5 Coupe in the workshop today. Just going to replace the upper control arms that are flogged out. Super easy job. Just want to show you how I do it. Got the front wheel off. The very first thing I did is measure the height between the bumper and the center of the axle. It's really important when you tighten up the control arm bushes up in here, they need to be at the right height. So obviously the center of the bush actually gets tightened so it doesn't move. So when you compress the suspension, obviously this moves, this arm's moving up and down. So it's really important to have the suspension at right height before you tighten your bolts up. So yeah, I've already done this one, of course. I'm using Febest parts. Really nice, good quality items. It was super easy to get this bolt out. I know a lot of other people in the rest of the world struggle, but literally this just came straight out. Same for these bolts as well, no problems at all. So I've done this side. I'm just going to show you how I went about it when I do the other side. So here we've got the wheel off and we just have a quick look up in here. I know the lighting's not great, but you can see the bushing in here is cracked. Same with this one on this side. Not actually as bad on this side than the other side. But yeah, first thing we got to do is just loosen off. They're all 16 mil, so 16 nut and bolt. Same on the top arms as well. So we'll go ahead and crack those off to start with. All right, we got a pretty good view in here. Let's have a look at, these are only 40 Newton meters, these ones. So quite not real tight, and you can see that's already started turning, which is just awesome. That means we're not going to have any trouble getting it out. We do want to reuse those bolts though, so of course you don't want to damage them. Let's just concentrate on getting them all loose to start with. They are quite tight, these ones though. These top ones are much tighter. But as you can see, even just with that short, I mean, it's not a long 16. And there we go, we got those cracked off. All right, let's get this fellow out. Let's see how hard these are to get up. Extremely easy. Okay, we are free. So we have our upper front and our upper rear. Now I know in other parts of the world that can be extremely difficult, but here, very, very easy. Love it. So here we've got the new arms. These are the old ones I took off the right hand side of the car. And here's the ones that are ready for the left-hand side of the car. So as I said, I'm using Febest. I've had a really good run with the Febest stuff. It fits really well and it's very much OEM quality. The set of 4 of these was less than $200, so I thought that was very reasonable for quality parts. They actually have solid bushings. There's no gaps at all in the replacement ones. Otherwise, they look very much same OEM quality. Nice cap to cover the boot. Yeah, so far, very impressed. And the other one, again, beautiful. All right, let's chuck them on. So the straighter one goes toward the front. Sorry, I know I'm covering the camera up, but don't have much choice. And fortunately, the spring doesn't even get in the way or anything on these ones, which is really nice. Pretty sure I'll be able to swing that past. Now these, you can just move the shaft out a little bit just by pulling on it. Try and get it to line up a little bit better, but before we do that, we want to just give this just a bit of a clean. Of course, the top is not really doing anything, but we can also clean out where the tapers go, and the main bolt as well. Back to putting the ball joints in. Need to put a bit of an angle on this one as well. There we go. And I've just cleaned the bolts. Haven't even wire wheeled it or anything. Just cleaned it off, cleaned the dust off it. Once you get that through, they're good to tighten this one up. And like I said, this one is 40 Newton meters. Which is not very much for something that big. Now what we need to do is jack up the suspension before we tighten these ones up in here. Right, so now I can jack this up and then just keep measuring. Now bear in mind that this will lift the car off the jacks as well, it's actually a bit of a pain that it does that, but it's not really anything you can do about it. Good thing is that you can easily put a jack right at the bottom of that ball joint there. All right, let me just check that measurement. I'm measuring between the guard and the center. So I'm at 405. I really want to be at around 375. As high as I could get the other side was around 385. So I can go up a little bit more. So we're around 390. I can still go up a bit more. Just about to come off the jacks there, I think. Yeah, we're around 385 there, so I'm happy with that. That means we can come and tighten up these inside ones. Now, I don't have any crow's feet attachments for my torque wrench, so I'm just going to do these tight based on how tight it was when I got here. Let's swap these over because I do have a bit more length on this one. And that's tight. You are supposed to torque them up to 50 Newton meters and then do 90 degrees on top of that. Okay, tight. Right, so what we've got now, this arm should really be at very close to ride height. So we've got this all tightened up. So at ride height, this is how the rubbers look. You'll notice when I let the jack down that all of the white powder will come off because the rubber actually starts to stretch because it's twisting. Okay, that's the really important part with rubber bushings, is the inner is tight. So it does not rotate around that bolt. That is held tight. So really important to know that. Of course, we want to check our top ball joints, make sure they're in position down all the way. And you can also tell by how much shaft you've got coming out the bottom. So we have, obviously the bolt won't go through unless everything's aligned properly. So we've torqued them up, We can now drop this down off the jack and put the wheel on and go for a road test. Rightio, so we're going to attempt to zoom in on that bush as I lower slowly this arm down, just to see what actually happens on that bush. Okay, I'm just watching my air jacks as well. Make sure the car comes down the right place. And now we're in full droop and the jack is out. Okay, let's get this wheel on. Don't want to do them too tight with a rattle gun. Okay, we can drop this car down. I get a lot of comments on these air jacks and the modifications that I made on them to be able to use them how I want to. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown. The idea, so now they're totally disconnected. This is the side I put the car up from. So from this one side, it controls air to both, so I can lift up. But for example, if I'm around the other side of the car and I want to lower it from over here, I can also lower it from this side. So that's the whole beauty of it, is you can raise it from one side. Again, I could plug the air line over here and I could jack it from this side as well. But the idea is this works perfectly for me, is it's just so useful, so useful. So as you can see, I've got the air line disconnected there, so I can use that for other air tools while the car's jacked up.